Welcome back to another episode of A Degree of Dopeness. Today we're going to be visited again by my sister. We spoke to her before. She is my mentor, and today we're going to talk about choices. And I know most of you are probably like, okay, we get it. We know what choices are. But for this particular episode, we're going to talk about relationship choices, life choices, because the last time we spoke to her, we talked about the choice of not speaking and how petty that may have been, or whatever the case may be. If you didn't watch that episode, please go back. It was powerful. But today is one of those great episodes where we get to kind of have fun. We have on our summer gear because it's summertime now. So please join us. Get your cocktails ready. We are going to decide what we're going to do today on I can't even talk. I'm so excited. I can't get it out. On a degree of dopeness today. So join us. So, welcome back. We have my sister here, Keisha Johnson. Oh my goodness. How are you doing?
I'm doing great.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
It's summertime. You want a cocktail? I
Yes,
have
I
us
do.
prepared.
I sure
Right here. You already had a sip, I see.
I did.
I thought we learned that lesson.
Oh, I forgot.
Oh, jeez.
Oh my gosh. Sorry. Ready?
Cheers.
Cheers.
Yes.
And
Yes.
I got it.
Okay. Good.
I
See, I'm a
got
good
it.
teacher,
I'm a good
y'all.
learner.
I'm trying to teach. I educate.
Start.
So
Yes.
welcome back.
Thank you. I'm so glad to be here.
I know you are. This episode is about choices,
Mm-hmm.
and I know recently you were faced with one.
Absolutely.
You don't live here in Arizona, right?
I do not.
And you know, a lot of people don't know that we're recording this show in the midst of a pandemic, in the middle of coronavirus, and my sister decided to bless us with her presence. And she made a choice that was not very favorable, right?
Absolutely.
If I can say.
Yes. So
And I didn't even ask you if we could talk about this. I'm just going to bring it up,
Yeah,
and you
that's
can tell me if you want to talk about it or
Mhm.
not. So the choice that you made to get on the flight
Mm-hmm.
to come here when everybody else thought that it may not have been the smartest decision.
Right.
What made you go ahead and do that? What was behind that choice?
In a nutshell, my Heavenly Father's voice.
Mhm.
The Lord spoke to me and told me that I needed to be here. And
Okay.
I know that I know that I know. I mean, in a nutshell. So no one can compare. Nobody else's opinion compares to my God's opinion.
Okay.
And, yeah.
I love that answer, but let's say we're talking to somebody that may not be as spiritual,
Mhm.
okay?
Mhm.
And they're like, oh, I can't understand why someone would choose to put their family at risk or whatever it is to make a show. You know, like why? Like,
Okay.
explain
bring
it
down
to us in
practical.
earthly
I got you.
terms.
Practical
You know?
stuff.
Okay, go ahead.
I understand seasons. I understand seasons come, seasons go. And I know that there have been times you can attest to yourself that there's something you had an opportunity to do and you didn't do it, and because you thought you would get it, maybe I'll do it next week, or I can do it in 2 years. I'll go see Prince. 2 years before.
Don't even get me started with
Oh,
Prince.
yeah.
Oh my God, don't
I
even
know.
get me started. What?
Do you understand? Yeah.
Come in. Oh,
It was.
Nika!
Social distance
Well,
I see her every day.
right?
I don't see this one every day.
Oh my goodness, come on in. Scoot over. Come on in.
You, lady.
Scoot. Everybody, this is my sister, my other sister, Danica. She is the banker. She works at the bank. Come on in here. Welcome. I thought you was coming out to fix you a drink. But you probably already have your own because you have a flask. Is it? What? Don't look at me like that.
She has water
Am I on
bottles
camera?
too. She carries.
Yes, you're on camera. This is a show. What do you mean? Are you on
I
camera?
have to plead the fifth.
She carries.
The fifth. Do you know what the fifth means?
Yes, self-incriminate.
Yeah. So
She won't do it.
no, it's too late.
She doesn't know what a flask is.
She. Oh. God, I can't wait till we edit in the footage of the flask. Welcome. Today we're talking about choices.
Yes.
Keisha was just filling us in on her choice that she made to come down here and fly in So,
Yeah.
but she was giving us the normal terms because I know you were very concerned about her making that choice to come out here.
A little bit.
I mean, a little bit. I mean, Nick almost shut this whole thing down. Do you understand?
This is the zombie apocalypse season, and everybody needs
Almost
to
shut it
stay
down.
stationary in place on their post. So I totally get that.
I felt some type of way about it.
Oh.
But then I had a talk with Keisha.
Okay.
And I asked her 101 questions.
Okay.
She answered them successfully.
Successful.
And I was pleased.
So
You shall pass.
You mayn't.
You're.
follow me, perish.
But how did that make you feel? Like, and I know you, so when she called and had all those questions, and I know your husband had some questions, even your children, our nephews had some questions.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, how did you justify it in a way where they can understand it? Even in this conversation with Nika.
They still don't understand it. They just, for some people, they just didn't have a choice.
Right.
So, but Nika was able to understand it, not understand it, but she trusts who I am.
Yeah.
And how I live my life and how I do make decisions.
Mm-hmm.
What components do I use in my decision making?
Okay.
And so that, but no, everybody didn't get it.
So, have you always made good decisions?
Absolutely not.
What decision is it that you've made that you probably wish you could come back from if you could resurrect it and purify it?
Oh, let me see.
And
Pass.
you start thinking too, because I want to know your answer. No, you can't pass it. Pass it?
The timing, it's not taboo.
It don't have to be
It's
like
buzzer.
a
I'm
crazy
thinking.
question. It's still an educational show. They just want to
Okay.
know, like, we're not perfect.
Let me see. I wanna say this. I wish I had have dealt with some people a lot better. Like,
Okay.
I wish I had have understood everybody's not perfect. I can say out of my mouth that I get it, but I really didn't get it. That
Okay.
we're not perfect. And how do you live with imperfect people when you're
Oh.
perfect? When I'm so perfect,
Right.
how do you deal with imperfect people? I don't get it.
Perfect Patty made a mistake.
Yeah, yes, exactly.
Why do you choose to wear like two prints when there's a rainbow of colors? Why do you choose to wear cheetah and choose to wear black?
Whoa.
Whoa!
I'm feeling
A lot of pressure.
cornered. Cheetah. I wasn't ever bold enough to wear a cheetah back in the day because it was like, the Peggy Bundy look. It was
But I love
the
it.
hooker look. It was, oh, she's wild, But back in the day, some people may be too young to know about that. But now it's like, it's a really bold color and it's a bold print.
Oh.
And I think I class it up really well. So
You do.
I think it complements my skin tones.
Mm-hmm.
So I really do. Like, it's just a choice, like you say.
Okay.
And every day I'm like, you know what? Now when people at work start calling me Cheetah Girl.
You don't want to be
the lady that wear all the cheetah.
Oh, you don't want to be
Or
Cinderella.
leopard lady.
Sitting in a dirt cold, dusty cellar. Oh, never mind. Okay, that was a Cheetah Girl song that I probably shouldn't know, but hey, I ain't mad. I love me some Raven. We met her in Vegas. But anyways, so why is it that we are not confident in some of the choices we make? Like, we make all these decisions every day, and this is an educational show, so we're going to transition a little bit. Let's talk about college choices, and education choices, if y'all don't mind. Like, what made us not go, or what made us go, or what, we all went different paths, everybody. So I know you probably don't know this, but my sister, we're just going to say she's worked at the bank because she's worked at so many banks and done so many jobs. And she's been successful at every single one of them. But she chose to go into the working force and do what she does and do it well. Thank you. And my sister, Dakisha, who is, so sorry.
You're fine.
Keisha,
You
who
said
is
it
a
correctly.
pastor.
You know how to pronounce it.
Right?
So
I was in the house. Kitchen nigga, one down! That's how our mother called us, hog calls. Like we was just one person. But anyways, so my sister Keisha, she is a pastor. She does dance ministry. You please, trainer, certified. I don't know where that came from. But anyways, so she took a choice, and then I took the college choice. So let's just have that conversation. Like, what made us choose that? Who wants to start it off? I mean,
why not? You guys have embarrassed me so much today.
yeah.
I'm usually known as a shy sister, by the way.
Shy brother. Can we play
Shy sister.
All right, shy sister.
I tried the college route.
Yeah.
It didn't work out well. I kind of was confusing to me. I didn't have a lot of leadership or guidance at the time, and I was like, I don't know what to do. I don't know how I'm going to pay for this. So after high school, I went to a community college, and it kind of felt like high school.
Yeah.
And I was like, ooh, I'm learning the same stuff twice.
Right.
So I was like, I got it the first time. So I had an opportunity that came up at the bank, one of the many banks, and it was an opportunity I couldn't refuse. And I took it, and I took it and ran all the way to the bank with it.
I love that. Love it. She said, let me bring out some puns.
To the bank.
And Keisha?
Oh God, I'm trying not to be so deep. But I'm naturally deep, so let me try to make this shallow.
Oh gosh.
Well, okay, I didn't go to college because I used because I had low self-esteem. In a nutshell, I didn't think I would be accepted. I had this huge fear of rejection that I was not aware of. So I didn't do college, but I wanted to, my mother, I thought our mother, that it was pleasing. She was pleased with the choice of me going into the Army, so I thought. So I did that.
Oh, interesting. Okay, so I guess it's my turn. And the reason why I went to college was probably, same, very shallow, but you know, I'm the one that had the kid very young, so I was 18 and pregnant, so I felt like I didn't really have a choice. I had to get on the good foot and get on it fast, you know. So I remember being in Foot Locker, and at the time I was waitressing, and I had saved up all this money to be able to afford AJ some Jordans. So I was like, okay, well, let's see what happens. You know, I saved up my little tips and whatnot. I was making $2.13 an hour too. That was the base rate. But anyways, so I saved up my tips because my tips were obviously more than my pay. So I go into Foot Locker and I give them the money. I'll take a, size T3 in Jordans, and they were like, okay, here you go. And so as he's in the back, I start walking around the wall and I look and the shoe goes, and I'm like, what happens when his foot gets to the bigger size? And then I looked at the shoe size and it went up to $100. And then it went up to $159. And then that was the year the Jordans came out in that silver case when it was like $199, that briefcase. I said, oh my God, what am I going to do when his foot gets to this side of the wall?
Wow.
And I immediately went, what'd you say? That's a lot of tables. Some more punch, man. But yeah, I had to beat his foot around the wall. And that was really why I went to school. It was not because I felt like I needed that particular type of information or that kind of structure. Because, there really is no structure. Oh, God, there's all kinds of structure. But anyways, the choice that I made wasn't because it was this profound experience I thought that college was going to give me. I mean, I watched A Different World. We all watched A Different World. I would love to meet me some Dwayne Wade and, and enjoy the college experience. But I learned about it through them, Obviously, I mean, I didn't learn a lot because...
We graduated with them.
Huh?
We graduated with them.
Did we? Nigga said I did. I had my cap and gown on in the room. Y'all ain't see me.
She's like, I did. I mean, where were y'all?
When Dean Davenport said switch that tassel, I was in the room. I graduated with them.
You say we watched them graduate.
We watched them. We did,
In theory, we kind of graduated with these.
Oh, gotcha.
That's at least what I tell myself.
We thought you were...
because when Dwayne said, you know what? Will you take me to be your husband? And she said, I do. So let's talk about that choice of I do. Let's talk. Because all of us have been in relationships and we've all been married or whatever, right? So what about that choice? To marry or not to marry?
Look over here first again.
Oh, let's look over here. Let's talk to the happily married one because she has been married how many beautiful years?
23 years.
Oh my God, y'all! 23 years. We don't even know what that means.
I don't know what that means.
Oh God, I done had 23 divorces and she worked for 23 years. Y'all, oh God, go ahead. Tell us.
You mean to be or not to be? To do
To marry or not to marry. If you don't, the choice to marry, obviously. I guess let's take it a little deep. If given, no, I'm not even gonna go there because that's just that's Wendy Williams style, and I love her, but we here we go. We are going to encourage positivity. Absolutely. Tell us how you keep it so strong after you've made this choice of marriage for 23 years. Like, how do you choose to keep fighting after 23 years? Because we know it's a lot of work.
It is a lot of work. I think that's the understanding. If you understand that marriage is work and it's not easy. It's an everyday, moment to moment, being intentional about your relationship. Okay. It can work. So that's the secret.
So you're telling, to just be mindful of it. You had shared with us a couple, you ain't been here that long, but you were telling me about like the choice to, you know what I'm talking about. Thank you. Fill in the hole.
I was going to say, you have to, whoever you decide to marry or not marry, your visions have to align. So in other words, your life goals, your 10-year plan, your 5-year plan, your mate has to have a very similar vision. So meaning they have to be going and headed in the same direction that you're going, or it won't work.
You're right.
Because I got a scripture for that.
Cling on to me, who clings on to you. Love never fails. That's the one I know. That's the one on the wall.
So that works too.
Right? No, but yes, that's it. Like, how do you know when to choose based off of emotion or based to choose off of smarts? Like head knowledge, because sometimes your heart and your head don't match up. So which choice do you tend to usually go with? Do you lean into head or do you lean into heart?
Mine was a head. And my heart caught up.
Oh.
Interesting.
You?
Marriage?
Yeah.
Heart, definitely.
Heart?
Yes.
Oh. Beautiful.
Well, the first one was head, completely. It was a total business transaction for me. I was over it.
Total business transaction.
Total business transaction. And then a hard pass. No. But no offense. Great dad, but just not for me. The choice I had to make was, you know what, bruh? Me and you just ain't gonna work. And I had to make that choice for myself and my son. And then on the second one, because I've been married twice, on the second marriage, it was all heart. Total heart, no head. And that was the problem. So I ended up getting screwed on the back end of that one because there was no head in it. So I think for me, the third time around, I would probably choose to lean into heart because nothing that is presented to me that I would accept would be of anything that my brain would have to second guess. If that makes any kind of sense. Because it would be that real when I felt it. So it would still have to be hard for me, even after that. So, we go through these moments and we have these issues in relationships, and I want to talk about some other choices. Anything that you particularly want to talk about, like a choice that you've made or in life? Because we were talking about relationships, and I know that I've made conscious decision in my dating habits to date people that I have the same vision with or the same kind of personalities. So I've never, and I'll be honest, never chosen to date outside of my race. I don't know why. It was just a choice for me, a personal choice. I think, Ryan Gosling is something to behold. Oh, don't get me started, but,
Something to behold.
Huh?
Something to behold.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Magic Mike, I saw it in the theaters. I paid full price for that. I don't do movies. But I said all that, but it's as a choice,
Do you mean Chatham?
Okay. Yeah, I call it Magic Mike because that's the only movie I've seen.
Okay.
I don't watch, Nika, no, I don't watch movies.
Ryan Gosling.
No, that's Notebook.
I didn't get you.
But you did say Ryan Gosling.
I said him first.
So you're talking about
two different people. I have more than one white guy that I like.
Oh, okay.
Justin Bieber, there's, okay. I'm just saying, I have not made a please. No judgment. No. What are some choices as far as like relationship choices that you've like personally not done or and the reason behind it? Can we start with you first on this one? Because I just want to make sure that's okay.
Why not?
I'm ready
What's the question again?
Relationship choices. Like, what do you think about before you jump into a relationship? Like, are there some like deal breakers, not deal breakers, things that like, choose to date men with kids, no kids, anything of that nature? Like, I know
They have to be able to make me laugh. If you can't get my jokes
Right.
or get my personality
Yeah.
or get my humor in any way, and you got to catch up, or I got to, basically dissect
Well,
the joke for
that's
you
like-
or translate,
You gotta say.
there's gonna be a problem. It's like
Right.
we're speaking a different language.
So let's
Yeah.
talk about like social media choices.
The booty challenge. Is that where you do the squats and all that
I
stuff?
have no idea what it is because I've chosen to give up social
Well-
media during the midst of the pandemic. I don't want to see it. I don't know what it is, but she keeps highlighting me on the longest
challenge.
hopscotch. That's a new thing.
That's not social media. That's the news.
Oh, that's the news.
That's on the news. That made the news.
That was
Oh, no wonder I gave that up. Why do we choose like to use social media or not to use social media? Is that a big thing? Like, are you using it? I know you do the live dancing in front of your neighborhood now, and they're gonna miss you because you're here. But my sister, if you don't know, she sets up a stage in the front of her neighborhood, and she goes out there and she gets the neighborhood ready to work out in the morning. So she like has a speaker system because her and her husband, they do like events, so they have all the surround sound and lights and all these things. So she drags. Oh, poor Johnny. I know. He drags this stuff out every morning so she can perform in the neighborhood to get everybody energized because she knows they're in the house right now during the pandemic. So she's trying to keep them moving.
I think your mic, yes.
You have a mic? I'm
headset.
classy.
I have a headset and I have an earpiece.
It's never you love to have, but also hate because she'd make you feel bad about yourself. You don't want to get out of bed. You like on the pillow. Like, no! Don't let her knock on my door. I know I need to work out, but I can't really hear her from the pillow.
I'm not her. I'm not
Really?
that woman.
What?
I'm so not her.
Oh, wait, what made you choose to do
But
that?
let me say this. My husband actually initiated that.
Oh, I love it.
I started in the kitchen just because I had some students, members. I call them my students, but these are grown women older than me. But they were missing my class. And so I was like, we have to do something. So I just started doing Facebook Live in my kitchen. Well, because I'm in a construction zone in my house right now. And my husband was like, well, why don't we just do a COVID, neighborhood deal?
I love
And
that.
then an Easter production. And he was going to like buy a trailer so we could set up a stage on the trailer.
Yeah.
And you just drive it out. But I'm like, well, we already have a
You
stage.
know what? That's how you get to 23 years,
So-
fellas. That is how you get to 23 years. Let me drag your stage out every morning so you can perform.
That is.
Attention audience.
That's him.
Get up in the morning, neighbors.
He initiated that.
Coming to the stage.
He's like, you.
Dakisha Johnson.
But her neighbors know she's so extra anyways, don't
Right?
they? It's not a surprise.
Right.
I
You
don't
know-
know if they know,
Well,
but they do
trust me.
now.
That's what they do? Oh,
I
God.
don't know.
I am so choosing that. I'm choosing that. If you can't set my stage up for me, I don't want you.
And I do
Like,
have
that's the
a
new standard.
bling mic.
You know-
Bling mic when I MC, he's got me my bling mic. It's
I got a
all
mic.
White. Right, you got a mic.
I
You
do.
see my mic? Yeah,
You have a bling mic?
I do.
My mic is not bling.
It's not bling.
No, but it has a cord, so I can.
Oh, you gotta have the cord.
Yeah, I gotta give him a little bit. I'm
Oh,
old
my
school.
word.
You don't get a cord because you
Oh.
be moving too
I
much on
move-
your stage.
Yeah,
Yeah,
she
I
gotta
can do the
spin and
cord.
turn. But
Wow.
oh yeah, I got to
Oh,
be
my
Diana
word.
Ross with that
Oh,
thing.
stop.
I give them all kind of. You got a mic?
My.
She said I'm gonna choose not to do the mic thing. But people are like, why do you? Okay, so the choice is to be extra. Let's talk about that for a moment before we leave out, because everybody will tell you right now, this is me every day. Like literally, we're filming this show and styling this show from our own wardrobe. We haven't shopped. We haven't gone anywhere. I haven't bought these props. This is just us, right? So, and thank you for some of the borrows. But so what is oh God, she's gonna kill me. So anyways, choosing to be extra, and we were talking about choices of marriage and things like that. And part of the reason why I chose to walk out of some because I couldn't be me.
Absolutely.
And I felt like I have to be me all the time.
Yes.
I need to only be your wife part of the time, but I have to live in this.
Yes, you do.
So every now and again, I'd be walking around doing me, extra, all this, and he would be like,
That's all
"Why are you always posing?" And I was like, "Am I?" Am I posing? Like, I didn't, and he was like, no, you posing. And I thought about it. I was like, oh. And then I found myself walking around like, okay.
Yeah,
I didn't know how to get unconfident. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I was like, you know what? Would it make him feel better if I walked around?
Yeah,
Probably.
You know, and I can't.
Back to Notre Dame.
I'm sorry that you choose to not add flair to your wardrobe, your 32 pieces of flair, if we count them all out. I'm sorry that you didn't choose to do that, but I am very much so choosing to add all of the flair because I like it.
Absolutely.
So why should we be, ashamed of our choice? If you choose to wear black and cheetah, then you should be comfortable doing that, right? And I never judge you. You should know that.
Really make me sound like a lady of the night. You know that,
Oh
right? Black
what?
and cheetah.
Not in this day.
I say who?
And now you're trying to get me to say how much.
A lady of the night.
Lady, who said that?
You would know
To wear black
who that is.
and cheetah.
What? Who said that? I said that.
No, that's the first thing.
You know what? Well, then prove us wrong on the next episode. Please prove us wrong. But I promise you, ladies and gentlemen, you will see some cheetah again before we leave out of here. But
Definitely.
so what do you say to those that are like, should I put this extra piece on? Should I give them that much? Like, what? How do you push out the door every day?
You want to hit that?
I'm not as extra as you guys. Like, I know we talked about this earlier, but people don't believe when they meet me that I'm the basic one. They're like, really? I said, my sisters are so extra, it's not even funny. I'm like the basic jewelry. I get dressed in like 10 minutes. It's not hard to put on black and cheetah.
Right?
But
Everything already
it's just,
coordinated.
I'm like one of those get up and go busy people.
Oh, yeah.
I would like to have more time, but I don't choose to have more time for that. But I envy the people who do.
Because, she will rush through a pedicure.
I know.
She will. Because I don't know about y'all, but that's part of the part I pay for. Because I stand on my feet all day lecturing. So I just feel like I need the massage. She will be like, don't massage it. Just don't worry about it. Just polish. Let's go.
That's disclosed before they start. Just so you know. No massage, just the toes.
Right.
I need to be out of here. In 20 minutes, I'll make it worth your while.
Gotcha. Okay.
I
So you choose not to be extra because you don't find that much value in it.
Getting a pedicure is not extra.
Yeah, you find value in the beauty, but not the time-consuming process.
More of that.
Exactly. So.
But you guys make it look really easy, but yet.
We've been practicing all our lives.
Offense,
right?
But after y'all get ready, I then already had a workout. Had a latte. Then it's cocktail hour.
Oh, God.
Had a pedicure and a mani.
Meanwhile, I'm just on my second mimosa for the morning, strolling through here in my silk robe, like I didn't care from Hugh Hefner's house. So
But then I get to sit down like this, and I'm like, damn, I wish I would have took those 3 hours to get ready.
I don't take 3 hours. I take 30 minutes. This one here take 3 hours. Now, but give us one last thing that you would tell someone right now that was like struggling with a choice to like any choice.
Okay, so my second birth, my reborn experience. I've been churched. I've grown up in church for the past 20 plus years. So there's a struggle there.
Yeah.
There's a struggle to not be extra because you first give your life to the Lord and you're expected to look a certain way because you could be looked at as a woman of the night or in the church in Christianese. A lady of the night.
Lady of the night.
But you could be misconstrued as a Jezebel. I'm sorry, that's Christianese.
Oh, Christianese. Okay, explain it.
But it's a total.
Like red nail polish.
Exactly.
Oh, God.
Oh, my God.
Thank you for sharing that insight. Thank you both. And Nika, just popping in here. Like, I love it. She early. I love it. But, no, thank you guys for coming. This episode was amazingly powerful, I hope, because I got a lot out of it. Yeah. I learned a little bit about my sisters as well, and hopefully you learned how to make some better choices. Ladies, you want to say anything? We're good to go. I love you all, and thank you for watching another episode of A Degree of Dopeness. And that you can take to the bank, as she said, right? Take it to the bank. Take it to the house. Okay, never mind. Good night. Thank you, guys.
Oh, gosh. I don't stop tripping.